Matt here with Keeping It YYC. Today we're joined by Tricia Rolfe with Bees Knees Alberta. How are you today, Tricia?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. We'll get right into it and we'll have you tell us a little bit about Bees Knees.
Sure. So we are a Calgary-based company and we make beeswax food wraps. They're an alternative to plastic wrap. So they're reusable and they're plastic free, and we make each one homemade right here in Calgary. If people haven't heard of what a beeswax wrap is before, it's something that you can use to cover a bowl or cover food and put it in your fridge, and it'll help keep things fresh for longer. And the first known people to have recorded using beeswax to preserve their food were the Egyptians.
Oh, that is some time ago.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so is this more just to cover bowls and such like this, or can I take a muffin and put it in there just like I could with a saran wrap, let's say? Just
Yeah,
an
you can
example.
cover a muffin. I mean, some people will cut half an onion, and so then they'll put that in there. You could do the same thing with an apple. You can cover cheese. Some people put it around bread to help keep it fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seals just the same and doesn't fall apart? I'm trying to just imagine what it's like here.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much it sticks to itself, and it will also stick to a bowl. And yeah, you can turn it into like a little bag if you want, and then you just fold over the edge and then you press it. And then if you want to reuse it, what you do, well, we hope that you reuse it because that's the whole point of it,
That sounds
is
like, yeah.
you you then rinse it with cold water, and then you just let it dry, and then you just continue to reuse it until the ingredients on the fabric eventually will wear off.
Oh, okay, so just as easy as that. Just rinse in cold water, let it dry, give it a
Yeah. So sometimes, I mean, on occasion, you're going to get like sauce or something on it because you might cover a bowl and it might be saucy. And so if so, then you rinse it with like an eco-friendly soap.
okay.
And that way it doesn't cut through there's pine resin that's in these beeswax wraps. And so what happens is that's the adhesive measure for it. And so if you use regular soap, then it's going to take that, the stickiness away. So.
Oh, okay. That's important.
Yes, very, yeah. Otherwise, you just kind of have a hardened cloth, really.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
awkward. A
Yeah.
very interesting concept. I'll have to get me some of these and give it a go, to be totally honest.
Yeah,
Just
it's
to reuse
super.
it.
Yeah. So when I had first heard about them, I was intrigued by the concept, but I wasn't sure. Like, it kind of seemed weird, and so I happened to be in Australia, and I saw them at a market, and I was just so fascinated by them, and I got to see them in use that I thought, oh gosh, like maybe I'll give it a go and see. And once I tried them for about a week, I absolutely loved them. And my husband now, like, he just constantly reaches. He's like, "Hey, where's the wraps?" Like, we don't even look at Saran wrap now. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay, well, just for me, I guess, where can I get this and give it a go?
so you can order these online, and it's at bees.knees.alberta.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I will remember that. Cool. So my next question is, what are you doing to adapt in this current environment?
So a lot of our stuff, we were mainly based out of markets, and markets have taken a bit of a hit because people aren't going out as much. So we had to totally transition pretty much to online. So we just do word of mouth. We've been increasing our social media. We've been very blessed to have a couple stores that have heard of our wraps and have had people speak so highly about them that they've reached out to us. And we've put some in stores as well, which has just been absolutely wonderful.
Which stores?
So we have them in 3 stores in Calgary. So one is the Apothecary, which is in Inglewood.
Okay.
Another one is Without Co., which is in Mission. And we have a specialty oil and vinegar shop that is Blue Door. I think it's just called Blue Door, actually. It's a great
Oh,
specialty shop.
oh,
Yeah,
that's exciting. That's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously,
So
the market's is kind of a bummer, but
It is, but you know, this way, if somebody goes into one of those shops that I mentioned to purchase, not only are you supporting us, but you're also supporting them, which is another local business, which is huge.
Absolutely. And the exposure of just getting that walk by traffic is should
Oh,
be wonderful for you long term.
yeah, absolutely.
So my next question is, what can people do right now to support local?
Yeah, so if you're looking to purchase something and you would normally naturally go online for that, try looking to see if it's actually offered in Calgary somewhere. And you'd be surprised at the amount of local businesses and products that are available right here at home. And a lot of times when you are purchasing from businesses at home, you get a very high quality of product because that's how they're trying to break into the market to start.
Yeah, not only quality of product, but quality of service and that personal level as well. They know their product inside and out. It's not just something on their shelf that they're selling.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times, local businesses, they want to hear the feedback and they really listen to it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And that's a good customer engagement. It's just really nice to have that.
yeah.
That's
And during COVID here, we've tried to do pretty quick turnarounds. And so, you know, if somebody does order, we do try to get it out, you know, by the next day kind of thing, which is hopefully quicker than sometimes you can do it by ordering online.
that's very quick, yeah.
I can't guarantee, but I try.
All right. So, do you have any tips and tricks you can share in relation to your expertise?
Okay. So, so the very first thing is actually to have courage to even try these because they are different. But I'll show you what they are because people often are like, what is this? So this is what the package is that it comes in. So we
Okay.
have a large size, a medium size, and a small size. So they're all things that we have found through research. These are the most convenient sizes for people.
Okay.
So I'm going to move my screen here. We're going to see how this goes. So
Okay.
I have, so one of the things is like if you have a salad, can you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a salad or something, a good conversation piece anyways is when you have this wrapped over. I mean, it looks like a piece of cloth, which it is, but it's covered in beeswax, pine resin, and jojoba oil.
Okay.
And it just keeps your salad fresher for longer here. And so when you have company, you can just have this all ready. You can leave this right in the fridge if you want to prepare it. And you just press it down up against the bowl itself. And
Oh,
then voila. And then you just reuse it if you need. We also, one of the things that I have found this to be really useful for is on lettuce. It keeps your lettuce so much fresher for longer. You just rinse your lettuce beforehand and then you wrap it up the in the wrap really. And then
you
you
have to
just,
let it dry really
no,
thoroughly before you wrap
no,
it?
no,
Oh,
not at all. And same thing with herbs. You can actually take a wet, like a thin linen if you wanted, or a paper towel and lay it over top of the herbs before you put it in, and then you roll it up, and it keeps them fresher for longer. I don't know if you use fresh herbs, but I would find that sometimes it would go all wilty with before I'd remember and be like, oh, I had those fresh herbs with such great intentions, and now they're
mhm.
gone. This it preserves it for longer.
Oh, okay, cool.
One of the most common things that we wrap, I'll show you the final thing, is cheese. So this is like the huge thing that people buy it for. So this is just one of the regular cheeses.
Yeah.
Um, I pretty much just keep reusing this because I always get the same size. And so I just feed it back over all the time. So I don't have to be unfolding this or anything.
Okay.
So you leave the plastic on your cheese or whatever your cheese is wrapped in. You try to cover it as much as you can, and then you put it in here. So what does it do? Is it, you know, if you have cheese and you have it slightly with air and it gets a little hard,
Yep.
this prevents that from happening. You'll also find that your cheese also should last longer as well. But we do recommend you just leave it in the plastic. There's no need to take it off and
Okay.
wrap everything. So
Well, that
um,
even feels on the plastic wrap on the cheese that has a nice. It'll stay on. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, and this is actually the one thing that my parents were willing to try with it, and it took them a while to try because again, it's so different. And then once they did, it was really funny. They came up to me after like 3 months of having the wraps and not using them, and then they're like, "Oh, I used that the wraps on the cheese, and it really works." And I was thinking, yes, that's why I gave them to you 3 months ago. But now they love it. So.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. If I got this right. Did I do it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got mom and dad convinced. That's a good start.
I thought it was a pretty tough audience to try with. So that was actually one of the groups that I had originally, when we did a test batch, I gave it to people who wouldn't normally use these types of products.
Okay.
Because it was so foreign, and I felt that they would be the most critical as well. And they were, but it was really great because from it, we learned a lot. We got a lot of feedback. The majority of them love it. And so they use them all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Well, that's what we're trying. It's a little bit breaking into a little bit of a different market. But that's what we want, right? If we can do just helping one step at a time towards something that's reusable, it saves you money in the long run. It keeps your food fresher for longer. And also you're not building up garbage. So it's handy.
Yeah, I love it. I think this is a fantastic idea. Obviously great to reuse it, better for the environment. And I think it's just a matter of getting that word out and slowly building that exponentially. Hopefully people will say, why don't I just use this? That's works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was awesome. That's all the questions I had planned for you today. I do ask that you end the interview by stating your name and the name of your business and just asking the people that are watching to keep it local, keep it YYC.
Okay. So thank you so much for having me today, Matt. It's been fun. My name is Tricia Rolfe, and I'm with bees.knees.alberta. And to Calgary, keep it local and keep it YYC.